Do you know that Australia has more than one employer sponsorship visa, the 482? Have you heard of the employer-sponsored Regional 494? Today we're going to talk about the two employer-sponsored visas, the 482 and the 494. Hi, I'm Chris Johnston from Work Visa Lawyers and welcome to our Work Visa Lawyers immigration videos. We are one of Australia's largest immigration law firms and have a team of professional immigration lawyers and registered migration agents that can help you. Work Visa Lawyers is proud to be a multilingual company with lawyers and agents who can speak Mandarin, Vietnamese, Punjabi, Portuguese and Tagalog. A big thanks to everyone who subscribed. We now have over 30,000 subscribers. If you would like us to help you, please hit subscribe and the bell to get notified of our latest news videos. In today's video, we mention what applicants need to know about the difference between the 482 and the 494. Before we get into it, you should know that the overview of the two visas, the 494 and the 482 visas, are available on our website. The 482 is also known as the Temporary Skills Shortage Visa. It's a temporary visa that permits the holder to do the following: live in Australia, work full-time for the sponsoring employer in a nominated occupation that's listed on the short-term skilled occupation list or medium long-term skilled occupation list. You can transition to permanent residency if your occupation is on the medium-term list. You are required to have a job offer and at least 2 years of experience to get the visa. You must have a genuine intention to work in the nominated position and qualifications that are relevant to the position. You need to have made adequate arrangements for health insurance and meet the health and character and English requirements. The 494 visa allows a skilled worker to be sponsored by an Australian employer in a regional area for up to 5 years. 494 visa holders can live and work in Australia for up to 5 years, include immediate family on the visa, transition to permanent residency, if eligible, via the 191 regional visa. To be eligible to apply for the 494, applicants must be under 45 years, have at least 3 years of work experience in the occupation, have a valid skills assessment, demonstrate competent English, and meet the health and character requirements. Nomination requirements. There are some similarities between the two streams. It's obvious, but both are required to be nominated by an employer. They also need to be nominated with an occupation that's on the relevant list. Both visas also require the following: labour market testing. They must demonstrate the required salary, which is currently $53,900. The position must meet the Australian Market Salary Rate, or AMSR. This basically means that the worker on an employer-sponsored visa must receive the same sort of salary that an Australian citizen or permanent resident would receive for the same position. In general, that's the basic requirements. Let's move on to the more interesting part, which is the advantages and disadvantages of the two visas. There are 3 significant differences between the two visa streams. First, one is dependent and the other is independent from the employer. The most significant difference between the 494 visa and the 482 visa is the requirements for PR. With the 494 visa, you don't need an employer to nominate you for PR. Provided that you've been living and working in a regional area for 3 years and that you've earned the minimum income threshold requirement for those 3 years, you can apply directly to the department without an employer. For the 482, if you're going to apply for permanent residency, you need to be holding a medium-term occupation and you also need to be sponsored by the same employer that sponsored you for the temporary visa. Another area of difference is the flexibility of location for work. For the 482, visa holders can be anywhere in Australia, but they still need to be employed by that same sponsoring employer. For the 494, the applicant must live in regional Australia, and so they're not able to live in Sydney, Melbourne, or Brisbane. Another area of difference is the number of occupations that are available. There are more occupations available on the 494 occupation list. The 482 visa occupation list is split between the medium term, which has access to permanent application, and the short term list, which usually does not have access to a permanent application unless you can meet the COVID exemptions. The advantage of the 494 is that there's lots of occupations which will have a PR pathway, which would not be the case on a 482. These include some of the bigger occupations available, such as cook, restaurant manager, enrolled nurse, marketing specialist, and recruitment consultant. That's the end of the video today about the 482 and the 494 visas. To learn more about these visas and permanent residency pathways, please visit the links provided in the description. I hope you found this video useful. Please hit like and subscribe for future videos. Thanks for watching.